When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at MeisterCon.com or on YouTube under MeisterCon Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, I'm Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. What did you do on your last Saturday night? It's a new scripted podcast series that starts right at the beginning of lockdown, when a single mother and out-of-work writer named Gigi realizes that everything is about to change.
Did you hear something?
Toilet paper.
People are hoarding it. I should have done that.
The last Saturday night, an ElectraCast podcast. You'll love it.
Episodes available June 28th, wherever you listen to podcasts.
ElectraCast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of Too Opinionated, where I'm beside myself. I'm so excited. I'm joined today by actress Sherilyn Fenn. Thank you so much, Sherilyn, for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course. How could I not? Such a big fan. This is a highlight of the week, maybe the month for me. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I think
my
that's
quarantine
right.
clip hair.
That's right. You got. See, I wish I could do something like that.
No, but this is what it feels like. I don't have to feel any hair anywhere on me. So I just grab many random clips and here we go.
And ready to go. Isn't it weird, we're this whole Zoom thing that we're all doing now. It's definitely relaxed how everybody is with each other.
Right.
This is us. We're stuck at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you doing any Zoom happy hours? Have you had any meetings with friends?
I have not, and I've heard about them, and I think I need to do some of those with a few friends. I was talking to my brother. I know, we just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you got to get.
I don't drink a lot, so probably, in my 20s, I would have been having crazy Zoom parties all the time. But
maybe tea time. Maybe it's time for tea time.
It's definitely time for more connection. I know that. I mean, on a safe day, it was cool outside, and there wasn't a lot of people, and I let myself go to the beach for a little while, and I couldn't believe how different I felt. Just to be connected to the ocean, just to be outside of, that confined space and seeing, just the horizon. It really made me realize I have to go much more often. And so I have been. And again, it's not with a bunch of people, but it's connecting for ourselves, because you can only do it so much on this box.
Well, that's exactly right. You need that for your personal health.
Yeah, everything we balance as much as we can is really, the best way to go.
That's exactly
not
right.
that I'm always doing that, but
So I think now it's the first time I think I ever saw you in something. Let me make it. I forgot. Let me think, because you've done so much. But it was. Let's see. I know it was before Twin Peaks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've seen you in so many things. I know that you've done such interesting roles, which I love about your career I know that you were on Friends. You did a stint there as Chandler's girlfriend. I thought that was terrific. Of course, all the stuff with Twin Peaks, Wild at Heart. You've had such a great, fun career. And I always wondered, what made you want to get into acting?
I don't think that it was. I think it was more not knowing what I wanted to do than thinking that was what I wanted to do. And I think sometimes things choose us more than we choose them. And being in Hollywood at the right time, just having moved here at 17, having a mom that was open enough because her family was very involved in the music business. I just really fell into it, messed around with it, and then kind of fell in love with it once I found some really good teachers who, we all need good teachers or mentors, even if we have one that can really change our life and deepen things. And that's what happened to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know your family, you come from kind of a musical family. Mm-hmm. Do you play any instruments, or do you sing?
I do not.
Yeah.
I can sing, but I don't think incredibly well. I sang in a film or two, but it's not really my thing. I mean, I love music and dancing and all that, but being a performer that way, music never appealed to me.
Yeah, and I think it's all you're artistic though, and it all kind of, if I found that a lot of times in families that are artistic, where it's musically, art, acting, it all kind of connects, and you kind of tend to, it may come out in different ways, but it connects. That's really interesting. So I have to ask, I don't because I know our time is short, so I have to ask. Okay. So Twin Peaks, absolutely, huge fan right from the beginning. Love the revival we got recently. That was terrific. I'm assuming that you can explain to me what in the world. What in the world? I've been trying to figure out for 30 years what's going on with that show.
You can't assume bad assumptions. No, what I would say is the same. I myself have watched certain things that I affectionately called David DKL, David Keith Lynch. I watch things that he does, and I just say, DKL, I have no idea what is going on. And he, in all his sort of honest, kind of unique wisdom, said that, Sherilyn Fenn, he always calls me my full name, Sherilyn Fenn. Sherilyn Fenn, understanding is overrated. And I know what he means, because we can understand something now, but there's David. One of the many unique things is he doesn't work in a way that there is one thing that you're going to have this aha moment and everyone will get it all at the same time. He works in this very underground personal way, and the more personal the material, each person is going to get their own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stick into a little box and just say it's this or it's that, or, because if someone says, "Whoa, is that what it means?" He'll say, "Well, is that what you think it means?"
Like, he's not gonna give it away.
He says, "No." He says, "Then that's what it means."
Oh my gosh!
Because it's an ego that it has to only mean he believes in a world that's big enough with unique enough people and so many different variations that why would he say it has to mean this? If you got that, he'd be like, "That's cool. I never thought of that." You know what I mean? then be happy that
are you saying that he doesn't know what it means?
No, I think he knows what it means.
Yeah, I think
he knows what it means to him, but he's whereas somebody might want to say, oh, now I already understand this, so I'm going to show it to you in a film, in a package, and everything's going to make sense and it's all going to come together perfectly. I don't think that David, and neither do I, believe that life is like that, truth is like that, life is messy, things change. It can mean one thing today and something very different tomorrow. He sees beauty in things that people don't see it in, and consequently, I think his world is bigger than mine, probably, because mine can be with all my little ideas, but he's like, wow, I never thought of that. And that's not a problem,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, he's so talented. I mean,
people like to be in control and think they know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We do. But we love the journey. It's been amazing. And if he came out with more, we would be watching that too. And I've got, we're friends with a few different people that were lucky enough to be on Twin Peaks, and I've bugged them too. They same thing. They're like, well, what's it mean to you? And I thought this was really neat because I love this movie at the time, but you got to work with his daughter on boxing Helena, right?
Yes,
I get that right. And such a weird, strange, wonderful movie, I thought. And I love Julian Sands. But yeah, I wanted to ask you about that a little bit. What was that like working with with the younger Lynch?
Well, it was completely different. Jennifer has since grown to be one of my closest, if not my closest girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
I'm very close with her and her husband. She's remarkable.
Yeah.
David would say about her himself all the time, she did a good job of raising me, he says.
Yeah, she's so talented.
Amazing. Jennifer's brilliant. She's gone on to do all the top shows, and you'll hear a lot more coming from her. In terms of working with, it's like a man, a woman. Okay, so then there in and of itself, it's hugely different, isn't it?
Sure, of course.
And a contemporary that was only a few years younger than me, which she is, and David. So it was very, very different. And how it was like is that they don't make generic they make things that get under your skin a bit, that make you think.
That's right.
In the same level that if you ever read a real Grimm's fairy tale, crazy shit happens in them.
Yeah, for sure.
Disney took it all out and homogenized it. But the point was that things happened to stop you from sort of maybe being an automatic pilot, and then you can feel a little more.
Yeah. And
certainly Jennifer has some of that. Like her father, she isn't afraid to, and things that the world she isn't afraid to look at those things and things that the world might think are ugly, she doesn't think that they are. I love, she said once, just in the context of a person that wasn't well and was hurting people, she said, monsters aren't born, they're created. And that's kind of, so there's so much empathy and so much love. She's also a mother, a sister. Yeah. So she'll have, it's David plus all this feminine stuff.
That's awesome.
It,
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of hers. I think she's so talented. How do you choose a role? Because I'm sure you're offered a ton of stuff. And you've chosen some different roles, and just how do you go about that? How does a role speak to you?
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, in most careers, maybe not all careers, but in most careers, there are sometimes when you are doing something to pay the rent.
Yeah,
Simple.
of course.
When you aren't, I will read it and I get a little bit nervous and afraid.
Yeah.
I feel myself triggering and I'm not sure why. And I get mad. Like when I read Boxing Helena, I started getting really upset and angry. I was angry. I threw it across the room. I was like, what's your problem, girl? Like, wow. So sometimes it's just not, it's an instinctual thing where it scares you and you feel like, wow, I have to look at something here. I'm not completely sure what.
Right.
Because sometimes if it's, oh, I can do this, or I know this, or I'll use this and blah, 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 then it's boring. Whereas if you're willing to go into and explore things that really do scare you, being my teacher said, being film, discovering things and growing and learning is what I was taught it's kind of about. That doesn't mean that other things can't come into play, like imagination or like, just many different things. But at the core of it, your wounds and your life experience and your stuff, it becomes golden. It becomes, and then through your work, if you're able to go deep enough, you can like address and hopefully sort of process some of it.
Sure.
Your work. Now, if I do that, and people come up to me and they're touched and moved somehow, and I think people, you can be attractive and that can last for about that long.
Right.
And what really is attractive is, that human struggle that we're all in, and that desire to make it work, and that shit I messed the whole thing up and I'm still gonna get up and do it, and and having the courage to be filmed doing that, it becomes this really oddly, it can be a personal relationship with a stranger. Right. Sometimes people have known or have called me out on things that I was working on, and it astounded me that they knew. I was like, wow, that's really cool. But it's a gift back. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You touch one person, what a gift. If one person,
I love that. It's about the connections. That's really great. That's a great answer. We're lucky enough on the podcast, Too Opinionated podcast, to be helping with and producers on a scripted drama from Jennifer Nash, our good friend, called The Last Saturday Night. And you're playing the lead role in it, and that was kind of where I was going. Was what attracted you to The Last Saturday Night and to that character?
Well, besides the Last Saturday Night is about a woman, a writer, a screenwriter, and a mother, and many, many things.
That's right.
Who, in the process of going crazy like the rest of us, says, "Oh, fudge it! I'm going to write a script about everything that's going on to me and my fam, people who can't get in, and just all of it." So the script comes to me, and I adore it.
Yeah, so good.
I mean, I adore it. I find it healing in a strange way, because so many people are alone.
Right.
Or so many people are going through these things that all these people are going through. And it's even sometimes, and it isn't, but it is funny sometimes if somebody's going to decide to dress up to be a cat for a couple hours. And this would be a 30, 40-year-old woman because, damn it, I'm going crazy, It's so beautiful because all of it happened within the midst of this. We're living, we think we're in control, we think what's we know what's going on. We think we can trust the people in control. We're already questioning that, but everything gets pulled out.
Yeah.
And what happens in a weird way is, even no matter how old you are, you kind of feel like a child. Like, well, who's telling me? What am I? I mean, it's intense.
Yeah.
So she is, Jennifer Nash has managed to bring together so many different stories. It's such a big piece. It's like pandemic, but it's huge.
It's big.
As we know, the people that it's touching everywhere in the world, the trickle-down effect, all of it. It's just, and there's something about reading it that, curled up in my bed, I was like, yeah, or like, oh my God, it just felt like timely, really timely.
Yeah.
I mean, art has always told the stories of society, hasn't it? Sometimes ahead of time, sometimes during. It's reflecting what's going on, you know?
Yeah. It's the last Saturday night. It's such a good. I like to think the stories are heartwarming. They're true stories. It's actual people. And it's just such a fun script. And we were just thrilled to even be a small part of it. And our listeners, our viewers can go and listen right now. It's the last Saturday night. It's on Too Opinionated. Go and check that out. Wait until you finish this interview, but then go check it out. It's worth it. It's definitely something that I think right now we all need. It's great.
Oh, thank you so much. Absolutely. Yeah. Jennifer Nash is amazing. Wonderful.
Yeah, did you get to read through most of the story? I know I talked to some of the actors and they'd only read their part. Have you read through most of the story?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Because I'm in there. It's not a big part, but I'm in there. I'm, the part in the hospital with Gerald, that's me.
Oh, so I won't say anything.
Yeah, wonderful. I know that, and that story that came from me. I sent that to Jennifer because that's a true story that happened, and I was fortunate enough that she wrote it and just did a terrific job with it. But
my goodness, that is literally one of my absolute favorite stories.
Yeah, it's I won't give it away, but it's a hopefully I do it justice because there's some absolutely fabulous, including yourself, actors on this podcast. I'm not one of them, so hopefully it's good because the story is amazing. It's amazing.
It's going to be wonderful. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. No, I was happy to, and Jennifer's such a talented writer. I don't know how she puts all that and brings it all together, but she does it. So it's
and I love that she didn't. I just said to her today, so now you realize that you can write comedy. You didn't think that you could. You can, and you did. And you did it really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited to hear your parts. I know you're going to be wonderful. We were all jumping up and down when you came on board. That was
thank you so much.
That was a fun day. Well, yeah, we're such huge fans. So I know we have to wrap it up, but I wanted to mention because you've done so many roles. But I used to love this show called The 4400, and you played the weirdest character on there.
How funny.
Do you remember that show? I want to make sure I get right. I wrote it down. It
is the 4400. Yeah, I remember walking up a street with bodies everywhere. Yes.
You played that character that would like emit spores from her hands.
Yes. It's so weird.
Oh, I love that show. That's why I said you've done some really, for a nerdy guy. Love the stuff you do. I love it.
Thank you so much. Wow. I totally forgot about that.
See? Do you have a role that maybe is a little more obscure like that you kind of enjoy, that's a favorite of yours?
I don't. I keep everything's just sort of tucked in my memory because I don't get a lot of pleasure out of seeing myself. I get more pleasure out of like the memories of this or that. Oh my God, how that felt. Because when I see it, then my brain, starts judging everything. And it's not. I learned very early on, just for me, it wasn't going to help me to see it. In fact, it was going to, turn me against me.
My son's like that. He does these podcasts with me most of the time. And I love to listen to them. I don't watch it very much, but I love to listen to our podcasts. And that helps me to get a little bit better. He hates it. Yeah, he hates it. He absolutely refuses. He's like, why would I listen? I was there. So.
That's great. and the beauty is there's no right way. The right way is the way that works for you, you know?
That's right.
That's what just, to thy own self be true. Whatever
that's right.
That's good enough. Not hurting anybody.
That's right. Not hurting anybody. So before you go, I wanted to get this right. David Lynch, he once described you as 5 feet of heaven in a ponytail. Right? Right? So my question is, if you have to describe me, what would you say?
Oh my goodness. I don't think anything as clever as David's. I think that's a song title. I would say a wonderful, kind-hearted, and very wise soul. Yes. And somebody that I'm happy to have done this. This is the first time I've done this. And you
really?
are a sweetheart. And it's honest and connected, and you're here now asking questions, and it's all good. You're so cute. You're like, what was that movie? Well, there was this.
I know. I still can't think of it.
I love that.
You just got to bet.
That's great. You don't remember the movie?
I can't remember. I loved it. Can't remember it. It's been so strange, and I'll let you go. But this podcast, we started it and we had no clue what we were doing. And it's so funny. The more we messed up, the more mistakes we made, the bigger it got. And I can't explain it, and that's why I told you, I was like, if we start doing this really good, people are going to start listening or stop listening. So
just don't forget where you come from. Just be yourself. Allow yourself to go, oops, that's a mistake. That's the lesson.
Well, Sherilyn, thank you.
Here's a similar, just a little story. I'll make it really quick. That's oddly similar. Is that I had been going to auditions and blah, blah, blah. And I met before Twin Peaks, I met a manager and she invites me to a Christmas party. And I'm in my early 20s. And she says, I think that afterwards, when everyone's gone, I think you try to be who they want you to be instead of sort of just being yourself. And she says, and what I mean is, like, if you're a goofball, you're a goofball. If you're a little bit bitchy, a little bit bitchy. If you're a jokester, if you're shy, which is who I was, especially then you be who you are, because when you be who you are, those directors will want to work with you. And my very next meeting is with David. And I'm nervous, thinking I'm supposed to, do what she said, which is the opposite of always like, hi, how are you? My name's blah, 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 bullshit. So I do what she says, a little bit quiet. I answer his questions honestly, because Twin Peaks is not a great script. David Lynch is a great director who makes Twin Peaks a great script, which then Northwest Passage. And I'm like, well, everyone's sleeping with everyone. I mean, I tell him everything, and I'm just quiet sometimes when I'm quiet, whereas in the past I would try to say something. So he's doing more of the talking. So we finish, and thanks so much. Great to meet you. And I leave. And the casting person calls my agent and said, well, she should have been more positive, and, she was a little quiet and, whatever. So that didn't go how it was supposed to. So long story short, a week later, they call and say, David is writing her a role. So there would be no Audrey Horne. There was no Audrey Horne. There was no, I came in like any other actress my age for Donna Hayward and Shelley.
Yeah.
That's it. So that he went and did that, he saw somebody based on me allowing myself to just be me. Goofy girl from Michigan who gets pretty quiet when she meets people and probably says things she shouldn't exactly say, but they're truthful. She's not saying them. She just, and that changed my life. And that like set off, one of the many ways, it just set off a trajectory of, wow,
Yeah. What a great story.
People need and want authenticity. I think they want fantasy and superheroes, but they just want somebody to go, oh, I was so hurt the other day, or just having a really hard day for whatever reason, because we're in a crazy time. And a girlfriend of mine knew, and all she wrote to me was, I'm hurting too. And I was like,
Get you.
It was just, it's okay. I'm hurting too right now. Where can we all meet? It's like Rumi says somewhere, and I won't quote it as beautifully, but something like, we'll meet somewhere out in a field, beyond everything, beyond right doings and wrong doings. That's it. I'll meet you there in a field beyond right doings and wrongdoings, or something like that.
I love it.
But it's beautiful. It's like, beyond all this shit, let's just, yeah.
Yeah, that. See,
and you are that. And you're a sweetheart.
I didn't even know it. Thank you so much. This has been terrific.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no.
And I'm sorry it got confused. I have a brother who had heart surgery Friday, and my whole life like blew up into pieces. So then we skipped our work a little and went a little later. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it. And then she called, and then like, oh my gosh, I'll make it. We're done. So I apologize that there was a lot.
That's no problem. Yeah. No,
okay.
I hope he's okay. That's awful.
Yeah, he'll be fine. We're still figuring it all out.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course.
God bless
well,
him.
yeah, Sherilyn, before you go, where can people find you?
Well, it's very cool. Let's see. I have a website, just my name, Sherilyn Fenn, XO.com.
Yeah.
And lately I've been going to an app called Jemmy and meeting with people and doing like acting things and coffee talk and just talking about all kinds of things, from script writing, this, that, the other. And they also have some pictures there and stuff. And that's at Jemmy, JEMI.app, /my name Sherilyn.
Oh, very good. Very good. Is there anything that we can be on the lookout for that you have coming out outside of the last Saturday night, which everybody should check out as soon as they finish this episode?
Not outside of the last Saturday night. So say a little prayer that the right things come in.
It's coming.
It's been hard and scary. We have our whole business shut down.
Absolutely.
All these months. And that's part of the reason why you need to, which is always lovely to do, but be out there and having your pictures and trying to support one's self in this crazy world.
Right. Well, prepare yourself, because now that you've been on Too Opinionated, phone's going to be ringing off the hook. So get ready.
Oh, babe. Your words to God, dear. That sounds wonderful.
All right,
yourself, and thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. This has been an absolute pleasure. I've enjoyed it so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a bucket list item for me. Sherilyn Fenn, absolutely wonderful. That was terrific. I was probably a little bit nervous because I'm such a huge fan of her work, and I can't believe I got stuck. I couldn't remember the show. I wanted to remember. She's done so much, and I tried to look over to my notes, and I couldn't. I wrote down so many, I couldn't grab it out of there. But she was very gracious and patient with me, so that was wonderful. Please check out The Last Saturday Night. It's so good. Jennifer Nash, we talk about her a lot on this show. I think she is absolutely one of the most talented people that I've ever met. And she has written just a terrific script, and it's fun, and the cast is amazing. So please check that out. Last Saturday Night. You can find it on Too Opinionated. You can find it on our website, meistercon.com. You can also check us out there or on Facebook under MeisterCon. And we're in the process of building a studio, so we're always looking for a little help there. If you feel that you want to donate, we'd appreciate it. You can go to patreon.com/MeisterCon, find some bonus content there, and we appreciate the help. Thank everyone for listening. Always enjoy it. Thanks for putting up with our particular brand of nonsense, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Bye.
Ever thought about starting your own podcast?
Do you have a business or a message you want to share with the world?
Well, now it's easier than ever with ElectraCast. Hi, I'm Mark Netter.
And I'm Peter Rafelson. We're the founders of ElectraCast Media.
Whether you want to start a new podcast or already have one, join ElectraCast to grow your audience, monetize your content, and build your community.
With our simple sign-up, you get free promotion, world-class analytics, premium ads, and personal support.
Go to ElectraCast.com and join our community today.
ElectraCast. Transform your influence.
ElectraCast. Today is working for me. Do you believe that for yourself? Hey, I'm Pastor Julie, and I want to empower you through encouragement. Inviting you to my podcast, Big Truth Encouragement, where I unpack living a faith-filled life. I created my podcast for the ladies, but gentlemen, you'll gain something too. So I invite you to listen to Big Truth Encouragement on ElectraCast and any platform where you listen to your podcast.
ElectraCast.